Hello, and welcome back to another 6-scale figure review with me, your host, That Mania. And today we have the Mars Toys Gus Fring. So this is going to go one of three ways. You're either here to watch what is going to happen with the regular guy, you're going to want to watch just the blowy uppy guy, or you're here for the mega review 2-pack of the blowy uppy and the regular guy. Because I like to, separate just in case somebody wants to just see one over the other, or they want to see both. Either way, big week, double figure pack, Gus Fring. I just finished Breaking Bad. I know, sin, crime, I should be arrested. But I just now officially finished Breaking Bad. I've yet to watch Better Call Saul, but I finished Breaking Bad. And I thought it was a perfect time to finally start grabbing some of these Breaking Bad figures and add them to my collection. So I've started with Mr. Fring. Technically, I didn't start with Mr. Fring, but it's the first one to get here. So technically, I started with Mr. Gus Fring. So here's the box. It's a nice purple and like an aqua or a teal kind of thing. It's got the nice Gus Fring. You got your elements there. Fun stuff. I don't know what those elements are or if they're even real. If they are real, I'm going to pop them right here on the screen right now. And there you go. Wow, that's crazy. I can't believe it. But yes, here he is. Here's the box. And I'm looking forward to getting this guy out of the box. I like the box art. Nice and simple. Nothing too crazy. Figures on the box, like Mars Toys like to do. But anyway, let's get this Sully from Monsters Inc. colored box off of here. And let's talk about some figures. So if you've come here just to specifically see our Gus as he is before he isn't, here he is. A little bit of a downgrade from the sculpt that they showed off so long ago from what I'm aware of. I did see the original prototype figures, and I've been following this guy for a while, even though I haven't quite watched the show yet. But I can say it's not the worst thing in the world. It does still look like him. I think they changed the skin tone a little bit. I can't tell. I can't remember if it's lighter or darker. I do realize now that I could probably bring out Moff Gideon at some point to show the differences in sculpts and how they look as well. That might be a fun thing to do later on in the video. But for now, I will say Gus does look pretty good overall. It is another suited figure, so there's nothing too special to talk about, in that regards. But he does look really good at looking really good. Anyway, why don't we take him off of that spinning turntable here and get him to the next part of the video. So going over the accessories, not all of the accessories are specific to this outfit, but they are specific to the character. So we do have this very, very lovely bucket here, the Los Pollos Hermanos bucket, where they would, put the batter and stuff and they'd shove the meth inside of it. Obviously, there's no batter or meth inside of it. Disappointing to all you meth heads, but to everyone else, it's just a normal 6-scale bucket. You could technically find some 6-scale meth and jam it in there if you so choose. But I mean, that's completely up to you. We do also have the Zafrio, which is the whatever kind of alcohol he brings down to Mexico that poisons the cartel and obviously almost himself as well. The cool one, the top does not come off, but just it is what it is. We have our syringe. So if we ever get a Hector Salamanca, we could recreate the scene where he almost gets him. I guess technically at the end of the day he does get him. So we have what I think is supposed to be, I don't actually know what this part is. I think it's supposed to be a shot glass. It looks like a shot glass. I can't really tell what else it would be. We have, obviously also not specific to this, but would be specific to the orange jumpsuit that you could pre-order for this guy right now. We've got box cutters. We got 2. We got the bloody one that he used to kill Victor. And we got the regular one that he before used to kill Victor. And then we've got my first ever 6-scale flip phone. You guys remember these? Ready for that? For all you youngins, bam, it flips open. You can see there's a lot of groovy detail in that. I'm actually super excited to have this. I might pose him with it just because I didn't think I'd ever have a 6-scale flip phone. Super cool stuff. But let's talk about Gus. So Gus here, the glasses are technically an accessory, but since it is an important part of his sculpt, obviously I've left them on him. I know that this was a big piece of importance to Mars Toys. It took them forever to get the glasses to look quite right. But now they've finally got them, and it does look really good. It's got a nice bridge on the nose right here. I really like the way that looks. It doesn't quite sit down as low as it could, but it still looks really, really good. So I'm not really complaining all that much. I feel a sneeze coming along, but I can't quite get it out. But yes, it does. You can definitely see... I can't remember his name all of a sudden. It's like Giancarlo Esposito, right? That's it. I'm pronouncing that correctly. You could definitely see him in there. You could see that, like, that sinister look in his face. He's just got that, like, silent but menacing look to him throughout the entire show, which is I mean, that's his trademark thing. He's been typecast everywhere since, I think, this one. You know, he's been in Mandalorian and Far Cry 6 and God knows what else. But it is a really nice sculpt. It's not like perfect, but it still does a very great job of capturing Gus. I could definitely see it in this sculpt, and it makes me really happy. Because, I mean, a lot of things make me happy. I'm a very giddy guy. I get excited very easily. It's some, I don't know what it is, but I get very excited for even the most, like, minimal of things. And this is a maximal of things, you know, like Optimus Primal. It's very maximal of everything going on. But the sculpt is nice. It's not perfect per se, but I am happy that it does look as good as it does. Let's talk about this suit. That kind of reminds me of Stan's suit from Monkey Island. My biggest gripe with 6-scale suits always is the tie, because the tie never quite wants to sit down flat. And this one kind of wants to sit at a weird angle. You can see there is a nice undershirt here. So there is some nice detail going on under here. There is a pocket. So there is, you know, they didn't just like put like half the effort in. We do get some really good detailing overall. This suit has this nice like checkerboard blue pattern. It is darker blue in reality. The light obviously just makes it a bit brighter than it actually is. So it is more close to how it actually looks in the show, but it still looks fan-freaking-tastic here. Coming down, we do have these buttons. I'm not quite sure if you can actually button them in. I've just been kind of like sitting it like that. Because, I mean, he has it buttoned all up until the point where he actually goes to sit down and then he unbuttons it and then calls it a day. So it's not like, I mean, having it unbuttoned is a problem. But, I mean, there's only, I mean, it's a very small hole and the button is kind of weird. So I don't know if it is buttonable. I haven't quite tried yet, because I suck at stuff like that in my hand. My fingers are a little too big to be able to do stuff like that. But what I can say is, if you do have problems with the tie like I do, I like to like tuck it into the pants at the bottom or like the belt, because it'll hold the tie down a bit more. That seems to usually do the trick for me, at least. And it does help, you know, just get the point across. Anyway, we do have you know, a nice set of black pants here. Nothing too special. There is a belt right here, which does sit quite comfortably all the way around. It's nice and belted in. Then we do have some very nice dress shoes with a black pair of socks that go quite up. Look at that. Nice thigh action on some Gus. Something you don't see in the show ever, right? But it is a very nice figure overall. Obviously, it is not like a super special thing, because it is just, you know, him in a suit. You could get other options. Like I said, you could get the Pollos Locos Present Toys one. Mars Toys has that, whatchamacallit, the, like the orange jumpsuit, the hazmat suit that you could pre-order that doesn't have a body, but it does come with a Gus sculpt, or it comes with a Walter sculpt. And it does also come with the box cutter, I believe, so you can actually recreate the scene with the box cutter. There are plenty of options, and Mars Toys seems pretty dedicated to continuing doing some Breaking Bad figures down the line. So there are plenty of options. Anyway, if this is where you're stepping off, we're moving on to comparisons. So here we have the two of them together, finally, at last. I know, you've been waiting all day to see the two of these together, but here they are. And like I said in the part with the blown up version, you could definitely see that suit is darker. It's got more like smoky, ashy color to it. This one is a nice, pristine, vibrant, just straight blue. This one's got some more blacks to it. You can almost not even see the lining here. It's definitely seen like it has been around town. There's been some things going on. Something must have happened to this Gus, because I mean, he doesn't look like he's quite all there. God only knows what could have happened. But yes, these two, they do look fantastic next to each other. I am super happy to have a Gus double event here, all of a sudden up on the old shelves. And I have no clue where to put this. I genuinely don't have the space for Breaking Bad right now, so I'll have to figure that out. But for now, we do have a Gus 2-pack. And I'm happy to say I'm happy with both of them and the way they look. But you know what? Just in case you forgot what this guy looks like, or you forgot what the Hot Toys one looks like, why don't we pull that out too, so we could show you, like I'm a hive mind, so I can show you kind of what the Hot Toys version looks like with this guy. Because I mean, at the end of the day, it's still the same guy, right? So obviously there are a few years of difference between these two. I did take off Explodey one because obviously we don't have the version of Moff Gideon that went Explodey, because he just kind of turned into nothingness. But Moff Gideon is shorter, which is kind of weird. They should be around the same height. I mean, he's just wearing dress shoes. He's like an Imperial Moff. I feel like he should be a bit taller. There are a few years between these two, and it really is up to you which one you think looks a bit more like him. The more I'm looking at it, the more I think there's some sort of like middle ground, because I'm not really seeing it with this sculpt, and I'm not fully seeing it with this sculpt. This guy kind of looks like an uncle, like a Hispanic uncle that you would probably call like Jose, or like, I don't know, Henry, Hector. I don't know. He just looks like your Hispanic uncle. It's not quite hitting where it should be at this point in my life. I was really excited for it when it came out. I still like it. And this guy, obviously newer, looks a bit more to the point, but it's not fully there either. There is a middle ground somewhere. They just need to find it. Anyway, why don't we do some articulation? So, Gus here can do a nice, life ending 360 degrees. His head is kind of loose, so be careful with that. Up that far and down that far. Be careful to tie. Back and forth action, no problem. Arm goes up about that far. Goes up about that far. Back about that far. And you get a really nice bend at that elbow. There is crunch. Just be careful not to untuck his shirt, because he'll be spending forever trying to tuck it back in. Spread about that far. Leg goes up, no problem. Leg doesn't really go back at all. But you get, a nice crunchy knee bend and free ankle articulation. So this guy can move and schmove and mix and match him. You got yourself a nice Gus who's going to make it real nice for us at the end of the video. So just like our friend Gus Fring, obviously Mars Toys was not messing around when it came to making these figures, because they put some heart and soul into these guys, and you can tell they must really like Breaking Bad, because I mean, these guys, they really put some extra effort and attention into it. Obviously, like I said, the sculpt is not perfect, but it is still really good for what it wants to be. It does look like him, it's just not quite all there. And not every time a third-party sculpt is going to be, a smasher out of the park. But I am still quite content with what I have here. And especially the fact that it is a pretty rocking 2-pack, per se. You get a little bit more bang for your buck, especially with, the fun accessories. The second figure, which really is just, like a little diamond in the rough. And all in all, Gus does, he just brings exactly what he needs to the table. which is, chicken and meth. Obviously, he's missing the meth. I'm shocked that that is not an accessory with this guy, but he does bring the chicken. So you got the chicken, or at least the bucket, which would be chicken. Anyway, if you've picked up this guy, or you're picking up any other Breaking Bad figures of any sort, let me know which ones you're picking up. Obviously, I'm going to try to grab as many as I can while the going is good, before I lose this hyperfixation and I move on to the next thing. However, I'll be watching Better Call Saul, so I'll probably keep the hyperfixation for just a little bit longer. Just long enough for me to get all of these figures, make reviews, be happy, and then move on to the next hyperfixation. Who knows what that could be. But I am happy with this guy. I'm happy to be picking up more Breaking Bad figures. I know there's some pretty darn good ones out there. Let me know what you're planning. If you've gotten this guy, let me know if you've gotten the Present Toys guy. There's plenty of different figures you can get out there. And there's so many possibilities these days. It's truly endless, especially for a series like this, where it is, you wouldn't expect Breaking Bad to get 6 scale figures as much as it does, but then again, The Walking Dead did too, so... The Walking Dead never got third-party figures from, multiple different companies, so it couldn't be that good, could it? I watched that too! That was my last hyperfixation that I watched and got a bunch of figures for. This is my new one. But anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please feel free to like and subscribe, because the channel's been doing rather nicely recently, and the momentum has been, it's been a really nice, and I'd love to keep that momentum going. And it's all thanks to you guys and help from you. And I really enjoy making videos like this. So to let me know that you're enjoying it just as much as I enjoy making them, feel free to like the video as well, so that I can make sure that I'm still making the content that you guys want to watch. And with all that out of the way, I've been me, and you've been you, and thank you for watching another 6 scale figure review. Hopefully you join me next time when we review something maybe new. I will see you then.